Dear students, last class we have seen the principles of inheritance related to the top lesson genetics. Important terms we studied. What is a genotype, phenotype, monohybrid cross, and what's the reason for the success of the Mendel. Today we have to study the dihybrid cross of the genetics along with some non-Mendelian inheritance.
Is Punnett square. Punnett square is a checkerboard device used to determine the genotype of the progenitors of a cross. In Punnett square, we can see the horizontal and vertical columns. So this is the horizontal and this is the vertical column. And at the top of the horizontal column, we are entering to the female gamete, and left side of the vertical column, we are entering the male gametes. If we do the reverse also, it is applicable. So, in the horizontal column, we can enter the male, or a vertical column, we can write the female also. That's no problem. And the progenitors of the cross, we are entering into these square boxes. And in each box, we have to write the phenotype as well as the genotype. Here, the first cross, capital T crossed with small t, and this progeny is capital T small t. There we have to write the genotype capital T small t, and this phenotype we have to write this tone. This is the Punnett square. Next, we have to see the test cross. So, there are two crosses. One is a text cross, another one is a back cross. Both of the crosses we are doing in the genetic study. Test cross, in order to find out the genotype of the F1 hybrid, we are crossing this F1 hybrid with the which phenotype is. Its genotype is unknown. It is crosses with the recessive parent. Here, this violet flower as well as the white flower. Violet is a dominant trait and white is a recessive trait. We are not knowing this what is the genotype of the F1 violet. So first we assume that is both of these alleles are dominant, crosses with the recessive white, and if you observe all the progenies of all these are this violet, then we can assume that this F1 hybrid is a homozygous violet. Suppose we assume this is heterozygous violet crossed with the recessive parent white. If these progenies are obtaining in the ratio 1:1, half of them are violet and half of them are white, then we are assuming it is heterozygous progeny. That is F1 hybrid is a heterozygous. And the important use of this test cross is to find out the genotype of the unknown phenotype, whether it is homozygous or heterozygous. In back cross, we are crossing the F1 with the either of the parent. Mainly we are using the dominant parent. So we are using this back cross. Find out this easy way to find out the or quick way to find out the genetic makeup of the hybrid. And also we are using this one to detect the to produce homozygous plants and animals. Next, we have to see the dihybrid cross. See, Mendel took 7 traits for his genetic studies.
and he conducted his experiment in 34 varieties of the pea plants. First he conducted the monohybrid cross. On the basis of the monohybrid cross, he formulated the two laws, law of dominance and law of segregation. Law of dominance says that this out of a pair of alleles, one is always expressed in homozygous and heterozygous condition. That is the dominant. And an allele which is expressed only in this homozygous condition is called the recessive. And these diploid alleles segregate at the time of gamete formation. On the basis, he found out that in this monohybrid cross, the gametes are pure. Then he conducted dihybrid, trihybrid, polyhybrid crosses, taking two characters together, more than two characters. And here we are dealing this dihybrid cross between two organisms having two characters taken for the cross. So he took parental generation as the round seed, and the color of the seed is yellow, representing the symbol capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Is crossed with the wrinkled green, small r, small y, small y. Both are homozygous. Generation after generation, they are producing this type of progeny. Here also the same. And this parent produced two types of gametes. One is capital R, capital Y. Other one is small r, small y. And the F1, he found out the F1 is a round yellow. Round is dominant, yellow is also dominant. Then he conducted this selfing of this F1 and to produce F3 generation. And F3 generation, so monohybrid cross, in the F1 and F2 he found out the parental combination only. But in the dihybrid cross, along with the parental combination, he found out two more types of combination. That is maybe a recombinant progeny. Seeing this one, he formulated the law of independent assortment. See, whenever he conducted this selfing, he found out four different types of gametes. One is capital R, capital Y. Other one is small r, capital Y. Third one is capital R, small y. Fourth one is small r, small y. And 64 progenies crossing, he got 64 progenies. These progenies are in the ratio 9 out of 16 round yellow. This is the round yellow, this is round yellow, round yellow, round yellow. And 3 round green. This is the round green. This is round green. Round green. This is round green. This is round green. Then 3 wrinkled yellow. This is wrinkled yellow. This is wrinkled yellow. 3 wrinkled yellow. One more is the wrinkled yellow. Somewhere here it is a wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled yellow. This is wrinkled yellow. And 9:3:3:1 round means one wrinkled green. So these two non-parental combination, and when he did this two monohybrid cross separately, round and wrinkled, yellow and green, round 3/4, wrinkled 1/4, 3:1. With the multiplication of the 3:1 into 3:1, he got this 9:3:3:1. That is, when two independent events occur simultaneously, The combined probability of two outcomes is equal to the product of their individual probability. That is why he said 3:1 into 3:1 getting 9:3:3:1. And on the basis he formulated the law of independent assortment. The law states that when a hybrid contains two or more characters at the time of gamete formation, these characters can segregate and inheritance and assort independently to the gametes. That is the law of independent assortment. Inheritance, segregation and inheritance of one pair of character independent of that other one. That is why he got this intermediate character, that is a wrinkled yellow and round green. So far we studied this Mendelian inheritance. So whenever this 1900 scientists rediscovered the Mendel's concepts, law of dominance, etc., they conducted experiment in different types of plants. Then when they found out that there is a variation from the Mendelian concept when they conducted cross in snapdragon, mirabilis, jalapa, etc. There they found out that there is no complete dominance of the F1 over the parent. In the Mendelian concept, the F1 is either one of the parent character. This recessive is this dominant trait is completely dominant over the recessive. Here we cannot see such a complete dominance. So the cross was like that. A red flower snapdragon is crossed with the white flower. Red is dominant and the white is recessive. And the F1, according to the Mendel concept, the F1 is red. But here, with the surprise, they found out that it is not red, it is a pink. In between this two parental combination. So they got a blending of this or mixing of these parental characters took place. So that is why pink. Then when they self-fertilize this F1 with that same F1 and to raise the F2, they found out that again the reappearances of the parental characters, so they found out that there is no bending. And the progenies are 1 red, 2 pink, 1 white. That is genotypic ratio of the monohybrid cross of the Mendel. Here phenotypic ratio of this incomplete dominance 1:2:1, that is F1 is intermediate between both the parents. And mirabilis jalapa also got the same result. Snapdragon is otherwise got the anterior hinum. And anterior hinum matches. Next one is the codominance. That is also. And codominance scientists found out in human beings the blood group, ABO system of blood group, where AB blood group. Furthermore, one more group is there, MN. There both of the places they found out this codominance. In ABO type of ABO system, see when we study the human being, there are 15 different types of blood groups. They are major and minor. ABO is a major blood group system. See, why it is called ABO? Because the gene controlling this blood group, that is a presence of a glycoprotein present on the surface of the RBC. And the gene is responsible for the ABO system is present in the chromosome number 9. and it has two alleles, A and B. And this alleles A, it produces an antigen A in the plasma membrane of the RBC. And allele B is having antigen B in the plasma membrane. So here, codominance in an AB blood group, in A blood group, antigen A is present only, B blood groups antigen B only present. Whereas in the AB blood group, both the antigens A and B are equally expressive. That is codominance. Both the dominant alleles are equally expressive. That is called the codominance. And here this gene I, isoagglutinin. Some textbook we will find out that is instead of I, it is L. Lavoisier found out this blood group system, that is why it is L. And A is the antigen, B is another antigen. And next, whereas in the LM blood group, L is the Lavoisier, that is a minor blood group, and this gene for this antigen M and N producing gene is presenting in the chromosome number 4. And if an individual is having the M blood group, the plasma membrane of the RBC containing M protein, that is glycoprotein. And if an individual is N, having the glycoprotein N. So, LM and LN, both are example for the codominance. So, there are three blood group system, LM blood group system, LN blood group system, and LN blood group system. Here, another example for the codominance is LN blood group system, LMN blood group system. And next one is the multiple allelism. So, a gene normally has two alleles. Some cases, a gene has more than two alleles and these alleles presenting in the same chromosome affect the same character in different way. That is called the multiple allelism. Here, again, we have seen this human blood group system, ABO system of blood group is an example for the multiple allelism. Here, isoagglutinin, I gene. The gene I is presenting in the chromosome number 9. And it has two alleles, alleles A and alleles B. And due to the mutation of this wild allele, a third allele is also formed, that is I. This allele is recessive allele. It is not express itself in presence of these dominant alleles A and B. This is an individual is having out of these three alleles, two alleles only. But different individuals having these alleles. Suppose this an individual is having the A blood group. A can have the two forms, homozygous A and heterozygous A. In homozygous A individual, both the alleles are in the dominant form, IA, and they are having an antigen A. So when we study about this antigen A that is on the plasma membrane, in their plasma of the blood contains an antibody B. So antigen A is plasma membrane of the RBC where the plasma contains B antibody. And that is in the cases of this homozygous, both the alleles are same form. Whereas in the heterozygous, one allele is in the dominant A, other alleles is I recessive allele. It is a heterozygous A.
In IBB, that is a B blood group, homozygous B having both of the alleles are in the same form, and the plasma membrane of the RBC contains antigen B and the plasma containing antibody A. And in the cases of this heterozygous B, one allele only is the dominant form, other is the recessive. And in the cases of the AB blood group, both of the alleles are present and that is a codominance and both are equally expressive. And their plasma do not have any antibody. And the last blood group is O. They don't have any allele. That is a recessive allele. That is I. No dominant alleles. And their antigen, their RBC contains no antigen. And their plasma contains two antibodies. Antibodies A and B. So when we do this blood transfusion, A can collect blood from the A only. O is a universal donor and AB is a universal recipient. That is theoretical. But normally we are taking very rare situation only we collect the blood from the O. Because O is having no antigen, only the antibody. So agglutination may not take place. AB is having both the antigens but no antibody. So it can collect blood from the only this. It is a the universal recipient and this is a universal donor. It can collect blood from the all other sources. Or it can collect only from the O only. Because it is having the antigen, it has no antigen but both the antibodies. So agglutination can possible. And next we are dealing with this polygenic inheritance. That is, see what all inheritance. So this is the combination that is a cross between in this blood group system. This is allele. One parent is A and he is married with an A individual. Both are homozygous, so the progenitors are the having the genotype IA and offspring is A. If A is first one parent is A, other one is B, progeny is having the genotype AB and blood group AB. And one parent is A, other one is O, and this genotype of the offsprings heterozygous A. B, other parent is A, genotype of offsprings is AB. Both are B and this genotype of the offsprings is B and the blood group also B. See, if this one parent is B, other one is O and the offspring is genotype is B and I, that is heterozygous B, blood group is B. Both are I, genotype of the offspring is I. See, both are O, genotype is I and this blood types of offsprings O. So that is if a man homozygous for blood group A marries with a woman with the blood group O, all their children will be have a blood group A. If a man homozygous for blood group B marries a woman with the blood group O, all the children will have blood group B. If a man homozygous for blood group A marries a woman homozygous for blood group B, all the children will have blood group AB. If a man heterozygous for blood group A marries a woman heterozygous for blood group B, their children may have all four blood types A, B, AB and O. Next, we are dealing with this polygenic inheritance. So far we studied this qualitative inheritance, not Mendelian, monogenic inheritance. That one gene is responsible for this inheritance. That is Mendelian inheritance. So we cannot see any intermediate combination. Whereas polygenic inheritance, otherwise is called the quantitative inheritance. Number of genes are involved for the development of a character. So, two or three or more genes are involving for the development of a character. That is called the quantitative inheritance. So, intermediate progenies are getting intermediate types. The skin color of the man is the best example for polygenic inheritance. Height of the man, then the mental capacity, height of the plant, yield of the plant, all these are the example for the polygenic inheritance. In monogenic inheritance or this quality inheritance, only two quality, parental. We cannot say any intermediate. Here, number of intermediate categories are getting. See, this polygenic inheritance is otherwise called the polygenic gene, otherwise is called the cumulative gene, because effect of one gene is very little only. Whenever when the combined probability, combined effect is considering, its contribution is very significant. And continuous variation is produced due to the cumulative effect, that is due to the additive, and variation is produced due to the combined effect and the environment. So each gene has a certain limit only its development of the particular character. If this number of genes are more may be this effect. So, when we study about this polygenic inheritance, the typical example is given, human skin color. So, in the human skin color, it is controlled by 3 genes having 6 alleles present in 3 different chromosomes, homologous chromosomes. So, 3 different chromosomes. And when we study this one, a marriage between, before that, see, skin color is, the color of the skin is determined by a pigment melanin. And when you observe the people of the tropical region, African countries, there we can see the skin is very dark. So we are calling them as the Negroes. Because the tropical region, the effect of UV radiation is more there. So melanin protects the skin from the excess UV radiation. Whereas when you move to the western countries, there the skin is very light or the fair, and the melanin concept is very less because UV radiation is very less, but this skin is the skin with the less melanin, they can produce a vitamin D because UV radiation is not there. So melanin is not enough for the protection. So the skin can synthesize vitamin D. And polygenic inheritance, if an individual is having all the 6 alleles in the dominant form, he is called the Negro. And if an individual is having all 6 alleles in the recessive form, he is called albino. So, a marriage between a Negro and an albino, 6 dominant alleles and 6 recessive alleles, forming an intermediate progeny that is called a mulatto, having the 3 dominant and 3 recessive alleles. And whenever this inbreeding of this F1 to raise to F2, 8 combinations of progenies are getting, and even this cross 60 for total progenies, 8 different combinations of gametes are there. And when we study this one, both the extremes we will get one number. That is, all the 6 alleles are in the dominant form, that only in one individual out of 64 individuals, that is Negro, and only this and the other extreme, all alleles are in the recessive form. There is no dominant allele, that is albino, that is 1 in number. So Next one, some individuals, that is 6 individuals. 6 individuals having 5 alleles are in the dominant form. That is called very dark. Next is the 15 individuals having 4 alleles are in the dominant form. That is called the dark. 20 individuals having, this is the 20 individuals are having 3 alleles in the dominant form and 3 alleles in the recessive form. That is called the mulatto. Then this 15 individuals having 2 alleles in the dominant form, 4 are in the recessive form. That is fair. Then this 6 individuals having 5 alleles in the recessive form and 1 allele in the dominant form. That is very fair. And the last one, albino, all the alleles are in the recessive form. So, this frequency of the skin color can be distributed in the bar diagram, that is called the histogram. Here we can see the variation. So here when we conducted this two genes are responsible for the production of this skin color. So 4 combinations. So 16 progenies are getting here, and this 16 progenies are getting in the ratio 1:4:6:4:1. 1 is very light, 4 is light, 6 is intermediate, then 3 are in the this 4 in the dark, 1 is very dark. So this is a combination. It is not needed, only this one is essential. It is important for the exam also. It's a big description related to the polygenic inheritance.
Students, we have seen what is dihedral cross, what is incomplete dominance, what is multiple allelism. Today I am giving you a small problem, that is a man with a blood group A married with a woman blood group B. Find out the blood group of the progenies. Do it. So do it along with reading the lesson carefully, and if you are having any doubt, you have to ask me. So tomorrow we will see a new topic, that is polygenic inheritance.